You don't really hear a lot of guys in this online fitness space talk about exactly which muscles to prioritize. Because everyone just assumes that you already know what to train in the gym and train all muscles equally, right? But the truth is that the aesthetic guys, all of them, not only are they training in a different way, but they're just training completely different muscles compared to you. So that's why in this video, I'm going to be going over the top 10 best muscle groups to train if your goal is to build the most amount of muscle possible. In 10th place, we have the forearms. Forearms are a really nice detail muscle to have, and they definitely make your arms look a lot more complete, right? The problem is whenever you have skinny forearms compared to the rest of your physique, especially in a baggy shirt, which is how you appear to most people 9 times out of 10 in your day-to-day life, by the way, like you're just not gonna look like you even lift at all, right? As you can see in these two photos, all I've changed is the forearm size. Same thing goes for these two photos. Guy number two just looks so much more better than guy number one in a shirt. But again, realistically though, like once your shirt is off, I think that the attention of other people just starts to distribute to other strong points like your delts, your chest, your abs, and your lats. And the thing is, like, you can still look very aesthetic as long as the rest of your body is developed. But still, like, I think that it's quite easy to still make a lot of forearm gains without doing much. Because one of the easiest tips I can give to you if your forearms are lacking is just to do more compound lifts, especially pulling movements with no straps, right? Like you don't have to be doing pull-ups, rows, deadlifts with straps on, and that's gonna get your forearms involved again. In ninth place, we have the biceps. Biceps gets all the attention. But in terms of aesthetics, they're not actually as important as you think they are. You know, they obviously look very good, especially when you flex, but they don't actually change your frame as much as you think they do. Right? Aesthetics is more so about your body shape, aka the V taper. And a lot of guys, they'll just get into the gym and they'll just do only curls and they'll overtrain biceps thinking it'll transform their physique. But it's more of like a finishing touch muscle, right? You can get into the gym and you can just train biceps only, and you'll end up with this awkwardly looking physique. But if you get to train all of the other muscle groups, which are more important, you can achieve true aesthetics. But one thing they do actually fill out your shirt when you flex, which is quite important. In eighth place, we have the triceps. Triceps are significantly more important than the biceps because they make up 60 to 70% of your arm size. And when your triceps are developed, your arms look not only thicker from the side, but also from the back, which is this head here called the long head. And this is actually what makes your back stand out, which is why it harmonizes very well with your back muscles. And it actually looks very good, especially when you're lean. You get that very nice striation where when you get around 12% body fat or lower, you get that striation, which looks very, very nice. Still, though, they're not really a frame-changing muscle compared to the other muscle groups that we're going to discuss later on. By the way, if you found value in this video so far, could you just help me out and make sure that you are subscribed? I'm trying to get to 1K subs by the end of this year, and also you'd be the first to get notified whenever a new video gets uploaded. It's a win-win. In seventh place, we have the abs. Abs are like one of the most desired muscles, right? But the truth is they're very heavily dependent on your body fat. Like you can train your abs every single day, but still not see them if you aren't below 15% body fat, right? They definitely improve aesthetics, but first you have to get them to become visible, right? And also genetics don't genetics play a very big role in your abs than you think, right? Some guys they have a four pack. Some guys they have uneven abs where like the abs just don't line up with each other. Some guys they just have a very high midsection fat storage, so they won't even get abs when they're like 13% body fat to go even lower. Some guys have a four pack shape, and some guys have the best, the six pack, full aesthetic shape. And so it's very highly genetic dependent, which is not something that you can change. But what you can change is the amount of calories that you can consume. In sixth place, we have the quads. Quads are so important, especially when you're wearing shorts. Big quads give you these standard good looking legs, especially when you're lean and there's very good separation. Not to mention, it also makes you look very athletic. The thing is, like, usually when people look at you, they don't look at your legs, right? When people see you, it's usually like eye level, torso, your arms, your shoulders, right? They rarely look down and see your legs. But I think that once they do realize that you skip leg day or your legs don't look proportionate to the rest of your body, then it kind of brings down your overall uh, body full physique score. In fifth place, we have the chest. A well-developed chest, especially the upper chest, is going to make your upper torso look thicker and fuller basically instantly. Right? It's one of the first things people notice when you're shirtless because it adds a lot of harmony to your upper body. But it is a muscle group that is heavily influenced by insertions. And unfortunately, many guys have a gap between their chest, and there is no real way to fix this gap because it's up to genetics. There's literally no muscle fiber to train between your sternum. And so you can get different types of chest, like the falling chest, the triangle chest, or probably the worst, the split chest. But if by some miracle you get the full Arnold chest, which has basically no gap, that's going to be the ideal chest. And for an aesthetic physique, you're going to want to do bench pressing, but specifically incline bench press because it has the same mid chest growth, lower chest growth, but it has a lot more upper chest growth compared to the flat bench. In fourth place, we have the glutes. Glutes are often ignored, but they play a big role in your lower body shape and also gives you an illusion of a more compact waist. A developed glute area also complements your V-taper by giving it, the classic hourglass shape look. And, it's kind of like the shoulder of the legs now that you think about it, right? Because without training your glutes, your legs would only look two-dimensional at best. The same thing goes with your arms. If you'd only train your biceps and triceps, your arms would not look 3D at all. Because, like, as soon as people turn around and they see you from the side, they just see like a flat, unesthetic looking lower body. But if you have developed glutes, you can have a 3D, better shape looking body, lower body. And remember, aesthetics is actually all about the shape. In third place, we have the lats. Lats are low-key a V-taper muscle, right there, which is very, very important. When they're developed, they make your waist look smaller and your upper body looks significantly wider, right? This is why one of the biggest visual changes that you can make to your physique is developing your V-taper, right? V-taper is literally what defines aesthetics. So do your pull-ups, do your lat pull-downs. Yeah, V-tapers, the lats, it's going to be very safe to develop. I would even say overdevelop your lats compared To most people, it's actually going to do you a lot of good. In second place, we have the upper back. And this is what gives you that thick 3D look, right? It makes your physique look dense from basically every single angle, and it separates the average physique from an aesthetic physique, right? You can develop your lats a lot, but if your upper back is still missing or lacking, like I'd say that like maybe what like 50% of your back gains is still left on the table. Even at the same body fat level, it's just gonna make your whole back a lot more sculpted, and you can see how you see this guy's back, it's just progressively getting thicker from the side. It adds a lot of depth, adds a lot of thickness to your back. And in first place, we have the shoulders, the one and only shoulders. Shoulders are the number one aesthetic muscle group, right? The wide capped delts instantly improve your frame, improve your V-taper, even if you have narrow clavicles. Like think about if you have really narrow clavicles, if you could add 3 cm of like pure mass on top of that, that's actually going to improve your physique a lot more than training something like what like your forearms, your biceps, right? Just the shoulders are going to be the highest return on investment muscle to train. And if your shoulders are big, I think that your physique almost automatically would look a lot more aesthetic. It harmonizes well with your traps, your chest, your lats, your arms, basically your whole body, right? And I think these are like a must overdevelop compared to the rest of your other muscles. You want these to be the strongest point of your physique. So you can see here, like, these two guys have basically the same physique, but with one change, and that is their clavicle. That is their shoulders, right? And this guy just looks so much more better than this guy with just one change alone. Same thing goes for here. Like this guy just mogs this guy so much because his clavicles are just way wider. And he's got very developed 3D cap delts. And this is why your shoulders are the number one muscle group. If you like what you see here, I've got a free and paid private community. It's the top link in the description. I've got a bunch of courses there on helping you get into the best shape of your life. I've got weekly one-on-one calls for checkup and feedback. If you join right now, there's a free forum that you can post on, and I'll be posting there fairly frequently too. So, what would the best version of yourself do right now? Goodbye.